So today I'm going to talk about lessons, gifts of pain, and basically energy anatomy. So some lessons come from when we sow the conscious to the unconscious, the taking accountability for being in growth, being the I am that I am. My friend, who's Tal, she says her Pisces mom she spoke about, and I related to a lot of it because of the being born in Adar, the Pisces, in the Hebrew sign also we have kind of the recipes, sort of, not for disaster, just recipes. So going into the depths with you, feeling like home, fluidity, free-flowing, could be controlling with few boundaries, attuned to meaningfulness and attracted to healing, meets the other's needs easily, and very keenly insightful. And I was thinking about my father. He's a very difficult person for me, but I learned a lot, like abandon what I think is bad, being self-sufficient, having good taste, maybe a tendency for fermented foods, which is healthy, spending time alone, mentally stimulating, live and let live, playfulness, being self-sufficient, valuing hobbies and learning. Okay, I think I'm repeating. So we really can't expect anyone to change. We have to accept them, and what's meant for us will come and what's not won't. We are each necessary and sufficient, so I am necessary and sufficient, and it's immature to expect others to be responsible for my duties and to carry my burdens. And the realization is I used to get fed after abuse, so sometimes I'll feed myself after I go through a rough time as if it will counteract the emotional pain. And that people were abusive when I asserted myself. I didn't say, ow, stop, that hurts. For example, even more recently, it's mostly men, unfortunately, but I had a roommate named Shia. He abused the power that he learned that he had, or my landlord tried to make me feel as powerless as he felt. He victimized me, threatened me the way he felt. And there was this man, Naftali, who I was interested in. He abused his perceived power over me. And then the gifts of pain. So gifts of pain, for example, spending time with myself, being alone. These were things I was avoiding. I didn't want to have to be alone. I didn't want to have to spend time with myself. I wanted someone else to be with me, or take care of me. So I actually, in the pain of this, I became more connected with myself, more loving of myself, to not take it personally. Like when someone says something good, someone could say something bad. Don't let anything be too true. So whether someone calls me fat or a troublemaker, someone else says I'm very precocious and advanced or clean. And then in order to risk losing people for the sake of sustainability, being authentic, prudent, discerning, this is really just less judgmental, more appreciation, and seeing I caused pain from my pain. So recognizing we all want to just be an inspiration, looking at things like the bigger perspective, creativity, resilience, wisdom, fierce clarity, lessons on adaptability and protection. And this authentic, prudent, discerning side is also involved of knowing what really matters and benefit of the doubt, and being defined by more than just my pain, and then also with others having less expectations of them, and recognizing pain comes in many languages, and that it's also a wake-up call and a motivational teacher. We transform to wholeness. It's about forgiveness, receiving love and support, and not disempowering ourselves. And I want to talk about energy anatomy from Carolyn Myss. So the inborn energy body, that's a healing agent in relation with all other life and energy. We call it energy, matter, and spirit. They intersect, and these forces can be harnessed and directed. You might have heard it in other modalities as chi or prana. In Hebrew, we say ruach, the spirit. It's a vibrant, self-nourishing, inexhaustible source of healing energy. The bioelectric circuitry, the chakra, the wheel, for cleansing, for restoring. The body is this intricate database. So chakra, in other words, is it's a cycle. We call it in Hebrew gal, or gal. And this circuitry, if it feeds itself. And this way it's, for restoring and for cleaning, it's in that structure. If it was just pouring in one direction, it may not inform the system. So this database, the memory, thought, feelings, it goes into the cells, the cellular memory that are coded and converted into matter. And when we have a trauma, negativity, it blocks the flow of energy body and causes leaks, so we don't have that circuitry. And it's a marvelous power, literally a gift from God, to be able to look at these banks that have each one a specific type of data. The oneness is in the crown of the head. We call this in Kabbalistically aligned Keter. And every perception in our life is stored in the wheel that resonates with it. Then we have, we call it sphira in Hebrew, really. That's the Kabbalistic term, sifira, which is like a sphere, like a circle. Then we have the mind, which is the forehead. This is both bina and chachma. Then we have the throat, which is the will. And this is actually very related to malchut, Malchut is also related to the feet. We walk the talk or talk the walk. Then we have the love, which is the heart, and it goes into from positive feelings or from fear, like fear of falling out of love and all this. So we have Tiferet, Gevura, Chesed, and then we have the solar plexus, the self. And from this solar plexus, it actually it goes into Hod and Netzach, which is Hod is receiving and Netzach is like generative. So physical power, the genital region is Yesod, and then we have Tribe, the base of spine, which is related to the feet, the Shechina. We have free-flowing energy requiring us to be present. If we don't arrive into the now, we won't be able to access that energy. And sacraments rituals, or their archetypical, symbolic, subtle ways to monitor the energy in the body. It centers us, it brings us back. So when we release the past and we're here now, you might call it extreme unction. Ordination is when we let the divine spirit direct our life. Confession is when we call back our spirit into our body. We let it out with shame and guilt and things. Marriage is when we promise to love ourselves. Confirmation is when we are confirming to personally honor the code of with ourselves. And communion is accepting each person as part of the self, like the inner wholeness, the inner oneness. And then what they call in the sacraments, baptism, we call like immersion in Judaism, and we would say it's extreme family, tribal, complete, you totally immersed in it, right? And then I wrote a poem, Affection Innocently, the baby soaring just ahead, always to be loved. Glowing iridescence, always to be held. Disembodied, to be held. Virtually blinded through the light, water ripples around the neck. Stamped hologram across the rainbow energy womb, an ocean of flowing possibility. Still present in adulthood, motivation towards touch, cultivating intimacy, to be held. And then I had a talk with my roommate about a guy that I would want, someone who's victorious, positive, thoughtful, warm, considerate, and a good memory, loyal, dynamic, honest and deep, spiritual and grounded, uplifting and reassuring, comforting and, very divine, great sex. In other words, good touch, pleasure, brings me closer to God, and there's enough space. So I hope this was interesting to you, and I wish you a blessed day. Bye.